Book review time. And this time we've got a book that kind of blends some genres. Is it a fantasy? Is it a sci-fi? Is it fae in a different format? Is it a romantasy? Is it a straight romance? We'll find out. Let's do the intro first and we'll talk about it. Welcome back to the Dormer. If it's your first time, thanks for coming. Hopefully you'll enjoy talking with us about books. This time we've got a book review. It is The Last Hour Between Worlds. It is by Melissa Caruso. She's out of the States. This is published in November. This is November 19th. So last month, I actually got one out within a month. And this book, so much going on with it. First off, there is actually a sequel coming. So they've announced there's going to be a sequel for next year, which is good because this is a pretty popular book. We did this as the Illumicrate. This was Illumicrate's November book, and we did it as a read along on their Discord, and I didn't see anybody dislike it, which is rare. Like, I mean, how do you get a group of people? You got people, grim darkers to romantasy people, and just straight romance readers, and we meet in the middle, and everyone liked this book. So hopefully we'll talk it through, and you'll see if you like it too. Got a few topics I want to go after on this book. So it is definitely, it's a weird book in that strong characterization, so like the characters, strong world building, and even more world building and plot. It actually has all this just kind of into one. So we're going to start with the world building, because this is the most unique aspect, right? I'm going to go for the most unique thing, and then we'll go to, I mean, politics exists in half the books in fantasy. There's a thing called echoes. Let me pop the map up here. Yeah, that was the map sound effect, if you're wondering. So the map, you can see you have Prime. This is where the humans live, is on Prime. And then you have these echoes below it. So echoes are like reflections of the world above it. And as you go down further and further, it's kind of like the whole copy of a copy, where you have an echo of an echo. So it gets kind of different and weirder the further you go. And it gets more dangerous the weirder you go. Well, these are separate worlds in a way to think of it. And every so often they have convergences. So these spots where somebody might fall through and just, oops, you use too much imagination at this one spot and boop, you're in an echo. And then if you go into the echo, it's going to leave like a reflection of you. So there might be a person who's based on somebody who had fallen through. And then there might be a version below that. And they keep on going down. Then you have the dangerous realms at the bottom. This is where you get these, they really feel kind of like Fey Lords. So big, powerful, almost deity level creatures called the Imperium down at the bottom. And they're going to work their way up. And they're always scheming. Some of them have existed, quote unquote, before time. So before your world. So there's this gap between. And then the level right below them is the void. Which, of course, you can't go to the void. Can't go to the deep realms. Like, it's bad. You will not be coming back alive. You may not be coming back at all. And so you had a few that you can go down. And we've got some characters who can go down. It's a specialty skill set to make it so that you can get down and go find and survive. Rescue people, bring them back. You've got city politics. So we have a council in charge of their city. And the council people are, well, they kind of range. It's a lot like, well, any real city. You've got some people who are there because they're altruistic and they want to make their city better. You've got others who are in power and just want to keep their power. You've got others who are kind of a mix between, I'll make it better, but of course I'm going to keep my own spot because, got to take care of daddy or mommy. In this case, there are a lot of female characters in this book, which we'll get into, which is great. Right? It's in fact, the characterization had something that I'm super excited about because I don't see that much. We'll get to it. I'm going to swing up to the guilds. So guilds, this is your professions. There's 3 main guilds that we ran into. And this is one thing the book would have really done well with. It would have been to have some reference material in the back explaining the guilds. You have the hounds. Our main character is going to be a hound. And the hounds are the people who go rescue somebody. Oh, hey, somebody's lost. Somebody fell in. Can you go get them? The hounds will sniff them out and go get it. Also, they're like investigators. So I suppose something happened, and it's a mystery. We don't know who did it. Send in the hound. Which, of course, that means the hounds sometimes run against the politics people who are trying to, well, do bad things. So you get this combination where they kind of collide a little bit, and that'll, of course, build some tension. You have cats. So the cats and the hounds. The cats are thieves, but professional thieves. Is a thief guild that you don't do your own work in. You follow the guild rules. You've been assigned, we've been hired to do this job. Go steal this thing or go acquire this thing and bring it back. That's the cats. And the cats and the hounds, oddly enough, are not actually enemies. A lot of times they kind of work as like a professional relationship with each other. Like if the hound catches the hound will make sure the cat doesn't like get busted and sent to jail for a long time. And the cat won't make it too dangerous on the hound who's trying to stop them. And so you have this, I don't know, a lot of just almost like a pairing of them where you get this like tension and they're both doing their job. Morning Ralph, morning Sam. If you're old enough for those cartoons, if not, sorry. And then you have another guild that's just kind of tertiary in the story, which is the Ravens. These are the people who know more about the echoes. So they study echo logic, echo histories, and echo, just anything on the echoes. So plot device, I guess you can go to an echo and go, hey, or a raven and go, hey, what's this mean? What's happening over here? So characters that we're going to go after. Let's see, you've got Kim. She is a hound. She is also a new mom. I love this. I don't know if I've ever read a story of just the new mom. I've had couples where they have a baby together and they're, now you've got the whole, I got to protect the family, got to protect the wife, got to protect the baby. No, this is the wife or the mom. And she is alone. The husband bailed out on her as soon as she got pregnant. Or not husband, the donor, if you would, bailed out on her. So it's just Kim. She's been on maternity leave. And so she gets sent to this party. There's gonna be a party and it's a bunch of work people and a bunch of like notable people. I don't want to say nobility, but notable people there. And so she's going to go to this party as just blow off some steam. Her sister's watching the baby. She's missing the baby the whole time. She definitely references this baby a lot. And as any danger appears, naturally, Kim is thinking of her baby because she's the sole provider for this baby and she's got to be back. She also, somebody get that lady home because she needs to nurse, which is not something I tend to think about. Is like, okay, so you're on a time frame here and it's starting to hurt. Poor gal. That's Kim. She's a hound. She's one of the best. She can do actually a magic. I don't know what you want to call this. She has a skill. She has learned and developed, and one of the like 6 people in the world who can do it, where she can basically skip between locations by hopping between the realms. And boop, boop, boop. It's almost like a D&D displacement spell, or a dimensional door is kind of how I was picturing it in my mind, where she could hop between. And so she could use this like, somebody throws a punch at you, boom, behind them. You got Rika, who is a cat. Rika is the definitely the one-time romance interest. So Rika and Kim have a lot of tension going on the whole time. Let me actually pop them up here. I mentioned this is the Illumicrate edition. So there is the front of the Illumicrate edition. That is, I don't know if it catches it as well. It is a gorgeous looking book. Wraps around to the back. Boom, boom, boom. What I was heading for is our characters. So you have Kim is in the red, Rika in the black, and then they reappear also at the ball where they are. So you kind of see, both attractive, both like each other, both flirty as can be with each other, but yet have a lot of history. Like Rika set Kim up for something. Kim is very upset about this. Kim took revenge against Rika for it. So you have like they went from being on dates and being even though they're obviously adults, being that flirty moments, they then just went from that tension to almost enemies. And they are the cat and the hound that work together. So they set each other up, and they're both. And this is a betrayal of trust. This is not done. A lot of the book is going to be, hey, are these two going to get together? Because it is definitely one of those, touch points of they definitely like each other, and they talk a lot about that. And they're like, oh, you brushed my hand. The chills go off that people who are in flirtation mode have. You have the clockmaker, so the one who made the clock, which has a big role in the book. So the clockmaker, little girl, oddly enough, because as soon as you see, like, she's like 5 or 6, right? Little girls in fantasy books are always scary as can be. They're either super sweet or super scary. Most of the time, super scary. Oh, I'm picturing the Resident Evil. You're all going to die here. That girl. But turns out, well, we'll find out. But she, at least early part of the book, is super sweet. And then you have the lady who's hosting a party. We'll talk about the party. Donna Marjorie Smith or Swift. And so a lot of people in the Discord were talking, hey, is Marissa Caruso a Swiftie? Because they just focused on the swiftness. Those are the characters. There's a lot of other characters. There's some bad guy characters. There are some of these Empyrean characters, these gods from the below. There is a lot going on in this book that is all taken and kind of crammed into not a huge book. It's like 420 pages. Plot. So there is a party going on. In fact, Melissa has this listed at the front that this is what she was doing with the book. She was doing she made a joke to her agent about writing a story that was set during one party, and the agent thought that was a great idea, and so that's how to get this. So you have this mansion, right, where the party's being taken place, and it kind of drops below echoes. And they're trying to figure out, well, first off, why did this happen? Two, like everybody else gets like killed. There's up with a bunch of death at the front, and she's, now our Kim is already kind of emotional, and she's still in that emotion phase after having the kid, and now she just see all like people she cared about get killed. But then it goes down, boop, down an echo, and they're back. What is going on? And so now this is where she really needs to start the investigation. One, what's happening? Two, what's the effect of this? What's going to happen? Turns out the Imperium are having a contest. And the winner of the contest, so there's different players, and the winner of the contest gets to name the year. Because we're in a special convergence zone where all the different echoes are on a convergence point. And this is some super special, super powerful. You get to name the year. It'll have major effects upon the world. So everyone really, really wants to get in control. Enough that they would definitely lie, cheat, steal, kill. Do the whole 9 yards to get in front of it. Book captures it. We're doing it as non-spoiler. I think it works. The whole book worked. On the Discord, I didn't see anybody say they didn't like this book, which is rare. This is the November, and it's that November Illumicrate edition. So when it pops up on sale, if you want to snag a copy, I think it's worth it, and definitely, I think it's a great edition too, which helps. Right? I mean, at the Illumicrate price point, obviously you're not battling Subterranean Press or something along those lines, or Folio edition when you're doing an Illumicrate box, but $25-$30 plus shipping. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Well, let's see what I give it. I originally gave it a 4.25, but I think I'm actually going to raise it up to a 4.5 because it's had, and I know it's funny for something with echoes, because it's had that resonance. What I like, something that raises books in my opinion, is did I continue to think about it after the fact in a positive light? Now, if it was negative, all right, maybe not. But in a positive light, it kept echoing up, if you would. It keeps reverberating. Good book. Looking forward to the sequel. All right, thanks for coming and joining me. And sorry for the hair. The hair is going bonkers. I'll see you next time. And hey, everybody, hope you had a great Christmas and Happy New Year's and happy holidays.